And lots of compost because the ground had gotten so compacted. And then we replanted, and this is 4 months old now. All these plants, everything here is 4 months old. Exception of the Hoja Santa, the big leaf back there. That one stayed. But just about everything in here is only 4 months old. And it's, you know, this garden really looks its best in the fall because of all the fall color perennials that are in here, like the Salvia leucantha, the Mexican bush sage, and the Copper Canyon daisy, and some other stuff. Mexican marigold all blooms in the fall, so this will be really colorful about
Plus
October.
everything cools off and takes a big breath and grows some.
The bay laurel was transplanted. You can kind of see it struggling a little bit. We really weren't sure whether we'd have success transplanted or not, but I think it's going to make it. It may have to be pruned, taking a little bit more of the top growth for the root system. You know, it's struggling to take up enough for all that canopy. Let's see, what else?
Each one of the gardens is divided into themes. This is the lemon lime garden. So there's lemon balm and lemon verbena, the lemongrass, and an actual, is that an actual lemon or what kind of citrus?
That's a lemon.
Okay. And then, how do you pronounce that? Provençal?
Provençal.
And when Lucinda was doing her class, we had the wrong signs up. And this was and this is the Tuscan, I guess, and it had the sign for Provençal. And while she was talking, I went around and switched the signs. It's kind of funny. But
the lemon verbena is one of my favorite ones. If you ever ate the lemon drops when you were a kid, or maybe you still do, this one smells just like the lemon drops. I love that.
And then the Mexican garden is that one, right? Over there. An Asian over here. This one with the Buddha statue is very nice. Medicinal garden back in there. Now, I'm not really familiar with the medicinal properties of the Hoja Santa, but it's also called the root beer plant. If you want to rub the leaves of that really big leaf herb over there, it smells a little like root beer. And it's not eaten. It's kind of like a bay leaf. It's used for flavoring, but it's not eaten. People wrap fish with it and grill the fish to impart the flavor on it. And then what's that far one over there?
That's Goodmansia.
But I mean that whole garden is what, ornamental? Or?
That's Good Sense.
Ah, that's right. Good sense.
Let's run through the orchard real quick.
Oh, let's not Yeah.
This is our newest water feature. It was installed a year ago, April. It has mostly native xeric plantings, and the grass is Tech Turf, which is a hybrid buffalo developed by Texas Tech.
Also known as Turfalo.
Turfalo.
This is Turfalo?
This is Turfalo. Okay. It's planted by little plugs, these little tiny plugs, and you put them on 1 foot centers. In 40 days it's filled in solid. It's extremely vigorous as far as running. You can see the runners coming out here. And it only runs on top of the ground, so it's really easy to edge around your other plants. It's not like Bermuda grass that sends out runners. So we have absolutely loved this Tech Turf. I've mowed it maybe 3 times since we installed it. Maximum height is 6 inches, and then it's going to start doing this little flowering thing. And then optimum height is 2 inches. So it doesn't mind being mowed. Doesn't go into too much of a dormancy in the wintertime. Stays pretty green. If you look mostly on the edges, you'll see how green it is. Once it gets tall and starts flowering, it tends to start getting a little brown. So it's kind of nice to keep it mowed.
It really is pretty.
Would it choke out St. Augustine if you just planted it on top of St. Augustine?
I doubt it. No, I wouldn't plant it in an area unless the area was completely cleared, especially no Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
I've made the mistake. We put it behind that waterfall down there originally, and the Bermuda took it over pretty quick.
Yeah.
Does it do well on partial shade?
This will take up to, I think, 40% shade, and then there's a version called Shadow Turf that'll take up to 80%. So I haven't demonstrated the Shadow Turf out here, but I want to. We don't have a lot of shade areas to do it in. But,
Could you mix the two blends together?
Yeah.
I think you could, yeah. You see all the dragonflies are working this water feature? They're catching insects. A lot.
The peaches, they got frozen.
Most of the peaches got frozen. That had a little set on it. The Saturn had a set. There were some good
peaches on your
peaches.
peach tree that they're just sitting there. They didn't fall off. I still have peaches.
Still green peaches?
Yeah, but they didn't grow very much.
Huh.
We had apples this year, like crazy.
We had great apples on these two little trees. This one's going into a false bloom. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much. Maybe it'll-
Roger said maybe it's because of the Sylvan formula mulch.
we'll walk over to the grave.
There'll be a stampede on that today.
That's my little plug. Sylvan formula. Say that again? I believe that one was an Anna, and the other one is a Golden Dorset. And Jujube.
Oh.
This is a very reliable fruiting tree. It's kind of like called an Oriental date. You see the shape of it, kind of looks like a date. If it dried up like that, it really looks like a date. The flavor, this variety is a little bit citrusy and very, very sugary. Most people expect it to taste like an apple and then they're disappointed, but it's a really good fruit tree to have. They are invasive by suckers. A lot of people won't plant them because of all the suckers, but you can mow right over them and keep mowing over them and keep mowing over them. But it's so reliable every year. I've never seen it fail to produce. It doesn't care, late freezes, whatever, you know, it blooms real late. So
It's a date tree.
it's a jujube. The common name is Oriental date,
Or Chinese date, I've
Chinese
heard.
date. This, when it's ripe, will actually kind of start turning a little bit brown. And then once it starts cracking, that's when you have to pick them because the bugs are going to get in them, the beetles, and start eating them. But I have taken them when they're ripe and just simmer them in a saucepan, cover them with water. And then after they're soft, there's one seed inside there. You can push the seed out, put it in a ricer, and it's just like applesauce. And spice it up with cinnamon or whatever you want to do. But I love it. It's great. There's another variety over there that's more round like an apple. Gets a little bit larger.
I didn't like the flavor at first, but I developed a taste. If it's going to be that prolific, I'm going to eat it. And it kind of tastes like a dry, mealy apple with a little extra flavor to it. But
it has some very good homeopathic or not medicinal, but
this gentleman was saying it's a chi booster.
Chi tonic,
yeah,
like ginseng, but a lot more mild.
I know in California, where my sister lives, by San Diego, they flock to the vineyard, into the orchard when they're ready. Excuse me, they send out a newsletter, and they go get them.
Your sister has an orchard, or
No,
it's just a
she shops at an orchard,
nice.
fruit stand.
So do y'all see the suckers coming up here?
Yeah.
And aren't they kind of thorny?
Yeah, spurs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And how often do you have to mow? Under?
I don't mow them just especially. I'll just mow when I mow.
How how fast growing is it?
Very fast, and very quick to produce. We get the bare root in January.